So, a topic that comes up a lot is elopement. I have a client who escaped out her kitchen window, but
Oh,
then ran around to the front door and like knocked on the front door, thank goodness. Um, and her mom in this case feels like it was more of an achievement thing. She wanted to show her mom, look, I can get out the window, get out to the front door. I
okay.
know that's probably a rare reason for elopement, but from an OT's perspective and from an autistic individual's perspective, tell us more about how people can better understand that behavior of elopement or trying to escape.
Okay. You have to remember that escape can be away from something or it can be towards something. You're escaping a situation to go to a better one. So, in the example you gave, she sounds like she was basically kind of curiosity meeting her need for, oh, what happens if I go out here? Just understanding her environment better. A
Mhm.
window. Well, windows are not just for looking out. You can actually get out. And then, of course, she had to run around and tell her mom what her discovery. So she was really escaping or eloping to discover something in her environment, as opposed to getting away from something in her environment that she was uncomfortable with, such as in the kitchen. Oh, that smell! I can't stand it. Mom was cooking beets or something. And she realizes the fastest escape is through the open window. And so then she gets out. Well, yes, she may realize, well, now that I'm outside the house, what do I need to do? I really don't want to be. It's too cold, too hot, whatever it is. So she goes around to the front door and comes back in. But it depends on if she were doing it for that reason to escape something in the kitchen, then she wouldn't be explaining to her mom what a great thing she discovered.
Mhm.
So her behavior would say she would simply walk in the front door and go to her room or go someplace else. But she didn't want to go back in the way she went out. So it's a matter of reading their nonverbal language, which she's expressing, as to decide whether she's running towards something or away from something.
Perfect. So then, now that we kind of understand those two different reasons, what are some supports either parents or therapists can implement? Because obviously, elopement and escaping can be dangerous, really, in either,
Mhm.
situation, whether they're going to something or escaping something. So, what are some strategies people can put in place for either of those reasons?
Well, as far as escaping from, you have to be very aware of what triggers the need to get out of or away from. So, um, the best support you can provide is being aware in advance. Is there going to be a trigger in that environment, like loud noises or smells, or and then preparing the individual in advance? There's going to be smells. Maybe you won't like them. Let's get, say, oh, those roll-ons smells that
Oh,
you have that you can
yeah,
put on
like
essential
oils and
oils.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and maybe you'll smell that instead. Um, and be prepared. They have their little kit with them, with their earplugs or their hat, visors, sunglasses, whatever it is, the kit that they need to deal with a situation, but they have to be prepared for it. Otherwise, what other answer do they have? If you're there and you're unprepared, of course you're going to try to escape.
Mhm. And in those situations, when it comes to communication, I like to have parents either have the AEC device so they can just say go, or a gesture for go, or even a no tech, or light tech symbol that the kid can pull on, around a lanyard or something so they can communicate versus running to communicate that they want to go somewhere. or leave.
Well, at least what they're going to do is give the parent warning that they are going to run, i.e., they're
Yes.
not going to stand around and wait.
Yeah.
They're going to say, I'm gone, bye.
Yeah.
But at least mom is prepared. But if she prepares in advance, then they've got another solution
Hmm.
to turn to, as opposed to just warning mom, I'm leaving.
Hmm.
There needs to be, okay, what can you do when this comes? And then maybe they will make that choice to pull on their bag to say earplugs or grab
Hmm.
for them, or mom will know when they grab for their bag that they need something in there, which is a better solution than simply announcing just before they do it that they're going to be running, because then
Yeah.
mom has to run after them. So yeah, but if they want to escape towards something, i.e., they're seeking to discover something, to toward an adventure, or I really want to get to the playground because I want to go on a swing. I really have that need, but the playground is 2 blocks away. So I'm just gonna, I can't wait for mom. I just need to go.
Hmm.
And that's where I'm going to head. And again, if the parents understand what their sensory needs are and can find a way to meet those needs so they don't have to go elsewhere. And you'll know the first time they head to the playground, that's what they were heading toward, not away from something, but towards something. Then what can you do? Have a rocking chair, a trampoline, whatever. See if you can provide a source of movement within the environment you want to have them stay in,
Hmm.
and then let them know. Put it on their schedule. Yes, at this time we're going to go to the park because I know you have that need to move and climb and pull. And yes, I know that's the sensory need you have. We just can't do it until this time. But in the meantime, if you have that need, here's what you can do.
Absolutely. And I love that you brought up the schedule because that's communication. And I do that with a lot of my kids who love nature, love to be outside. Either they try to escape out the front door, or as soon as someone opens the door, boom, they're gone. But having that on their schedule so you can constantly go back to it. And you may have to have a few times of the day that you're going outside. And I know you're in
Mhm,
Arizona where it's really, really hot. So maybe it's outside and swimming or just going outside in the car to another place that has air conditioning. But that having that schedule
mhm.
so they know and can predict when that's going to happen is super important. So, um, and we have a wonderful visual schedule that I will add in a link below that parents can use because we've talked about schedules in the past, how not only does that provide predictability, but also flexibility with knowing how times might change for things. So wonderful. That's a great idea to kind of hit both of those. Now, of course, there's always going to be those days where no strategies work. So get those running shoes on. But hopefully, when you implement these frequently enough, your child or client starts to pick up on that pattern and see that they can communicate
Mhm.
what they want are going to or escape from. That communication piece is super important. Like, I love teaching like and don't like, because if they can tell you don't like it and they know and trust you that you'll stop the noise or get rid of the smell or whatever, is super, super powerful. And I think that trust is really important too, because
Mhm.
if an individual doesn't trust that you're going to meet that need or get rid of the trigger, they're going to do it. And I almost feel like that's step number one, is make sure you have that trust, because if you're constantly saying no or not giving them what they need, they are going to continue to escape because they don't trust that you're going to meet that
Right.
need.
And you have to remember that um, they, when I lost my train of thought, uh, when you're stressed, language is the first thing to go for
Yeah.
autistics. They're going to communicate with actions.
Hmm.
So you're going to have to learn to read their actions, um, to be able to know. Don't rely on them or ask them at the time of a stress. Tell me
Hmm.
what you need, where you want to go. No, you've got to be able to rely on and teach them a gesture, that this means outdoors or whatever sign you want to use, letting you know, I need to leave, I need to
Hmm.
go. Whatever gesture that they naturally could come up with or that you can easily teach them, to let you know, I have a need. And
Hmm.
then you need to listen to that need and provide for that need, or they're going to take other action which you don't like.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thanks, Sue.
Okay, thank you, Stacy.